You're reaching for your phone for the 100th time today, scrolling mindlessly through social media when you have work to do. Or maybe you're standing in front of the fridge at midnight, knowing you're not hungry, but somehow unable to stop yourself from opening that door. Sound familiar? What if I told you that your brain, the same brain that seems to sabotage your best intentions, actually holds the key to breaking free from these patterns? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of neuroscience to uncover exactly how you can rewire your brain to stop doing the things that aren't serving you. Let's start with a story that might blow your mind. Inside your skull right now, there's an epic battle happening between two powerful neural networks. Think of it like having two different operating systems running simultaneously, and they're constantly fighting for control. On one side, you have what scientists call the dorsal striatum, particularly the posterior putamen. This is your brain's autopilot mode, the region that loves habits, craves efficiency, and basically wants to turn everything you do into an automatic response. It's incredibly fast, lightning quick at recognizing patterns. But here's the catch. It's also completely inflexible. When this system is in charge, you're essentially on cruise control, following the same neural pathways you've carved out through repetition. But wait, there's another player in this game. Your prefrontal cortex, especially the dorsolateral region, is like the CEO of your brain. It's thoughtful, deliberate, and capable of making decisions based on your long-term goals rather than immediate impulses. The problem? It's slower, requires more energy, and frankly, it's often outmuscled by your habit-forming circuits. Here's where it gets really interesting. When you're trying to stop a behavior, whether it's checking your phone, biting your nails, or reaching for that third cup of coffee, you're literally asking your reflective prefrontal system to override your automatic habit system. It's like asking a chess grandmaster to outrun a sprinter while carrying a backpack full of books. But here's something that might surprise you. Your brain actually has built-in stopping mechanisms that are absolutely incredible when you understand how they work. Scientists have discovered that when you need to stop an action, really stop it, your brain activates what they call the pause and cancel system. It starts with your right inferior frontal cortex and pre-supplementary motor area, sending out this global pause signal throughout your entire motor system. Think of it like hitting the emergency brake in a car. Everything just stops. This happens incredibly fast. We're talking about 150 milliseconds after your brain recognizes a stop signal. That's faster than you can blink. But here's what's even more fascinating. This initial pause is followed by a more selective cancel process that specifically targets the behavior you want to stop. The key player in this whole system? The subthalamic nucleus, a tiny region in your basal ganglia that acts like your brain's ultimate brake pedal. When it fires, it can halt ongoing actions almost instantaneously. It's like having an emergency stop button, that evolution installed in your head. So if we have these amazing stopping systems, why do we keep scrolling, keep eating, keep procrastinating? The answer lies in understanding what happens when these systems get hijacked. When you're stressed, and let's be honest, who isn't stressed these days? Your body floods your system with cortisol. This stress hormone is like kryptonite to your prefrontal cortex. It literally impairs the very brain regions you need for executive control and decision-making. Meanwhile, your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, gets hyperactive and starts amplifying emotional responses and urges. Think about the last time you stress ate or doom-scrolled when you were anxious. Your rational brain knew it wasn't helpful, but your stressed brain hijacked the controls. This isn't a failure of willpower, it's basic neuroscience. And here's another piece of the puzzle that most people don't know. Your habits literally change the physical structure of your brain. The more you repeat a behavior, the stronger those neural pathways become. It's like walking the same path through a field over and over until you've worn a deep groove that's impossible to ignore. But here's the amazing news, and this is where the science gets really exciting. Your brain is constantly changing. Neuroplasticity means that every single day, your brain is rewiring itself based on what you do, what you think, and how you behave. When researchers study people who successfully break habits, they find measurable changes in brain structure and connectivity within weeks. The prefrontal cortex literally gets stronger, like a muscle that's been trained. Functional connectivity between your executive control networks improves. Your brain becomes better at coordinating the complex dance between impulse and control. Here's a study that'll knock your socks off. Scientists took people with strong habits and taught them mindfulness techniques. After just 8 weeks of practice, brain scans showed increased gray matter density in areas responsible for attention and emotional regulation, while activity in the default mode network, the brain's autopilot system, decreased significantly. So what does this mean for you? How can you leverage this neuroscience to actually stop the behaviors you want to change? First, let's talk about cognitive training. Your brain's executive functions, working memory, inhibitory control, and cognitive flexibility are like mental muscles that can be strengthened. Studies show that even simple computerized training programs targeting these functions can improve your real-world ability to stop unwanted behaviors. But here's where it gets really interesting. The most effective approaches combine multiple strategies simultaneously. Mindfulness meditation, for instance, doesn't just feel good, it literally remodels your brain. Regular mindfulness practice increases activation in your prefrontal cortex while strengthening connections between areas responsible for attention and emotional regulation. It's like upgrading your brain's operating system. Cognitive behavioral therapy works by training your prefrontal cortex to recognize and modify the thought patterns that drive unwanted behaviors. Neuroimaging studies show that CBT increases activity in your dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and improves connectivity between your prefrontal regions and limbic areas. You're literally rewiring your brain for better self-control. Now, here's where things get really futuristic. Scientists are developing technologies that can give you real-time feedback about your brain states. Imagine wearing a device that can detect when your attention is wandering or when you're entering a high-risk state for your particular habit. Neurofeedback systems can train you to recognize and modify your own brain activity patterns. Some people learn to control their brain waves with the same precision that athletes train their muscles. Studies show that neurofeedback targeting frontal brain regions can improve inhibitory control and cognitive flexibility, exactly what you need for stopping unwanted behaviors. Transcranial stimulation techniques like TDCS and RTMS can temporarily enhance activity in your prefrontal cortex, making it easier to exert self-control. It's like giving your brain's CEO a temporary boost in power to override those automatic responses. Even more exciting are the emerging AI-enhanced brain-computer interfaces that can adapt in real time to your individual patterns and needs. These systems learn your unique neural signatures and provide personalized interventions exactly when you need them most. But here's something crucial that researchers are discovering. What works for one person might not work for another, and it's not because some people have more willpower. Your genetics, your life experiences, your cultural background, even your current stress levels all influence how your brain responds to different interventions. Some people respond better to cognitive approaches, others to mindfulness-based techniques. Some brains benefit more from direct neurostimulation, while others thrive with behavioral modifications. The future of stopping science is personalized, interventions tailored to your unique brain and circumstances. This is why biomarkers are becoming so important. Scientists can now look at genetic markers, inflammatory indicators, and brain connectivity patterns to predict which interventions will work best for each individual. It's precision medicine for behavior change. But here's something that purely brain-focused approaches often miss. Your environment and social context matter enormously. Your brain doesn't operate in isolation. It's constantly responding to and being shaped by your surroundings. Social support literally changes your brain chemistry. When you feel supported and connected, your brain releases oxytocin, which enhances your prefrontal cortex function and makes self-regulation easier. Conversely, social stress and isolation impair the very brain regions you need for stopping unwanted behaviors. Environmental cues can hijack your stopping systems before you even realize what's happening. That notification sound, the smell of coffee, the sight of your phone charging cable, these triggers activate habit circuits faster than your conscious mind can intervene. The most effective stopping strategies address both your internal brain patterns and your external environment simultaneously. It's not enough to train your brain if you're surrounded by triggers, and it's not enough to change your environment if your brain's habit circuits remain unchanged. Here's something that might surprise you. Change happens faster than you think, but also slower than you want. In the first few minutes of implementing a stopping strategy, your brain starts showing measurable changes in electrical activity. Within hours, you can see shifts in neurotransmitter function and cellular activity. Days to weeks bring structural changes in neural connectivity. And months of consistent practice can literally remodel the physical architecture of your brain. But here's the catch, and this is crucial. These changes happen in waves, not straight lines. Your brain will resist change initially, then adapt, then sometimes regress before strengthening again. Understanding this natural rhythm can help you persist through the inevitable ups and downs of behavior change. So what's the takeaway from all this brain science? Your habits aren't moral failings, and your struggles to stop unwanted behaviors aren't character flaws. They're the predictable result of how your brain is wired and how it adapts to your environment and experiences. But, and this is the beautiful part, your brain is also incredibly adaptable and responsive to the right kinds of interventions. Every time you catch yourself before automatically reaching for your phone, every moment you pause and breathe instead of reacting impulsively, every small choice you make to act differently, you're literally rewiring your brain. The science shows us that lasting change happens when you work with your brain's natural plasticity rather than against it. When you combine multiple evidence-based approaches, when you address both neural and environmental factors, when you personalize your approach based on your unique patterns and needs. The future of stopping science is bright, personalized, and incredibly hopeful. Your brain has spent years learning these patterns, but it can also learn new ones. The question isn't whether you can change, but whether you're ready to start the fascinating journey of rewiring your brain for the life you actually want to live. What pattern will you start changing today?